Hey there, friends and enemies. JoPaWrites here again, and we got some weapon changes coming to Season of the Deep that I want to go over with you guys. The entire sandbox is changing. We've got exotic weapons and armor. We've got ability tuning, all that stuff coming. So next week is going to be an exciting time, and it seems like the meta is really going to shift, which for me, as somebody who likes to mess around with different builds, is very, very, very exciting, and I can't wait. So jumping right into it, this stuff I won't touch on too much, but we do have a bunch of weapon reticle changes. I'm going to see when I get hands-on how it all feels. But yeah, hip fire reticles and FOV. We got changes to certain archetypes like diffusions, hand cannons, charge meters on your fusion rifles and swords, experimental ADS reticle, on Shire's Wrath, that could be interesting. Custom exotic reticles, a whole bunch of them here. So test out your favorites, see how they perform, see if you like the look of them, and hopefully they all end up looking pretty solid going forward. I'd be excited if they just have a little bit added utility with under the reticle, which would be nice. So now we're getting the inspection screen. We can now rotate the weapons in the inspection screen as well as the ornaments, and I think that's a massive change, especially when you're trying to purchase an ornament and then you can kind of rotate it and look at in the full 360 view, which is very, very cool, like you could a sparrow. So that's very nice. Now, jumping into the actual changes that I think will affect gameplay a bit more, we got full auto melee, which they've already announced. Then we got weapon archetypes. Tyranny of Heaven stats were weirdly low, so they're buffing that up, which is nice, and probably means we're getting some adjustments. Yeah, because it says we were touching these weapons anyway, so we opted to update the stats. We are probably getting revamped Last Wish weapons, which would be really cool. I'd be very excited about that. Hopefully we find more out on the TWAB tomorrow. Aggressive SMGs have surged in PvP, so they brought them down a bit. So reduced base damage from 15 to 14, increased precision hit multiplier by 1.45 to 1.5, not a major change. And then the Immortal is such a stat monster that they reduced the base range value by 10. If you saw Trials this weekend, it was Immortal Adept and then a regular Immortal were the top two weapons, and that's just out of pocket. There's no reason for that to be so out of balance. So I'm glad for those changes. They needed a nerf for sure. Sniper rifles are a very safe option. They increase PvE damage by 10%. Outside of Honed Edge, that's the only thing that does it, but all the other exotics receive the buff. Whisper meta? Whisper the Worm coming back? Probably not, but I would be interested in. I would love for snipers to be at least viable. Right now they feel almost unusable in PvE. Long arm on scout rifles was inadvertently receiving a damage bonus, so we've addressed that. Makes sense. Exotic weapons. Here's where we're going to get probably a bit spicy. Eyes of Tomorrow, multi-targeted missile volley, and adaptive ordnance exotic trait. Suggests it should be used to kill groups of enemies. So killing 4 our targets with a missile volley will refund 1 ammo. Nice. I like that. Again, I want to have a reason to use that against just general ads because that seems like what it does. It's not going to be the best for single target damage. So give me a lot of utility with the multi kills. And that sounds like it could be good. Graviton Lance, increase RPM, which is nice. Rebalance damage per shot. Increase body and crit, and then decrease second shot damage. Okay, so it's like the initial shot is going to be much stronger, which is, I think that's fine. This is something that's interesting. I saw a lot of people hyping up Graviton Lance after the mid-season patch as being a meta option, and I just did not care for it. So maybe it's a personal problem, but we'll see. I'll definitely check it out again after this next update. Jade Rabbit, super strong PvP. Scout rifle, but they added buff text to show on Fate of All Fools. Increased body shot damage is active. Good, so that way you know when you have that extra boost. And quickly hitting 3 critical shots now refunds 3 shots instead of 1. Oh, that could be very interesting as well. Oh, the Manticore flying around was silly fun. Yes, I really enjoyed it, but hopefully we get this buffed up. So they increase the catalyst damage resistance from tier 3 to tier 4, increase movement speed during the hang time, activating the catalyst perk now partially refills the magazine. All good changes. I still don't think it'll be meta. It's hard in like Grandmasters, obviously, to stay airborne all the time. But at least it provides a bit more utility in some different types of content. Without volatile rounds, it might not be as good, like for volatile flow from this season's artifact. But it's still a good change, and hopefully it's more viable going forward. Illumina's cap on Noble Runs was 5, so they increased it to 6. Heart Shadow wasn't quite hitting the fantasy we wanted to. Damage increase now activates quicker while invisible. Heart Shadow now weakens upon dealing any damage while the damage increase is active. Okay, I mean, I want more reason to use Heart Shadow. I don't think this one is going to be meta still, unfortunately, but it's good. I think that the problem is a lot of times people will just use either the most damage or the fastest ad clear, and like things that are kind of caught halfway in between that do some ad clear and some boss damage just aren't as efficient. So that's why you don't see them kind of in the mid range doing as much. So that's why something like Heart Shadow struggles a little bit. We love World Line Zero's performance, but the sprinting heavy attack can now be chained into itself. Sword guard energy cost for each sprinting heavy attack reduced. Increased damage from an individual sprinting heavy attack by 8.3%. Not bad changes. Again, the World Line's another one that I would love to use, but besides for like movement tech, it hasn't really ever been viable option, so that's a bummer. Ooh, now we're getting into my juicy bits. Sweet Business, which is I love to make. I'm a Titan main. I love to make Sweet Business builds. Its performance is a lot of fun, but we felt like it really could plus its fun factor and strength by adding some explosions. Now fires explosive rounds every 20 shots fewer when fully spun up. Oh my, I'm just going to go ham with this thing going forward. Imagine 6 Sweet Businesses in PvP. Oh, it's so obnoxious. Legend Acreus hits extremely hard, so they increase the total ammo from 12 to 16, increase maximum projectile distance from 9 to 12. Nice. Okay, now we're talking like a longer DPS session or something where you have to move and do DPS. Legend Acreus might be the play, and that's very exciting. Tommy's Matchbook. Let's go. Another one that I want to be good. All about burning yourself. We updated to burn others as well. Catalyst updated while overheated. Sustain fire scorches yourself. Every 5 shots applies 14 plus 7 with Ember of Ashes, Scorched Axe. Oh, that could be crispy. Also, this is a kind of weapon I would use. Like, I could pair with my Titan and run with Lorelei. I could drop a Healing Rift and just spray down with it. So, I think this is something I hope is good. I think it could be a lot of fun. No Time to Explain. Updated drone to work with anti-barrier. Oh, the PvE, that could be really nice. Updated drone to work with Feeding Frenzy from the No Time to Explain Catalyst. Nice as well. Resolved an issue where the feedback from Feeding Frenzy would always play when the player spawned and then never again. Good changes. Again, if No Time, I know it's been annoying at times in PvP, but if they can make it nice and juicy in PvE, that'd be awesome. Skyburners. Increase scorch stacks from 3 to 5 and 5 to 10. With the Ember of Ashes fragment. Okay, so just more scorching. Good. I would definitely use this like in like a Proving Grounds strike, Grandmaster or something like that. Salvation's Grip. I've been calling for this forever. Reworked to have 2 firing modes. Charge shot creates a pattern of stasis crystals like normal. Uncharged is a normal grenade launcher shot, which does more damage to stasis crystals and frozen targets. How much more damage it does will be the question. Like, if you can freeze a target and then just absolutely melt it, that could be massive for freeze builds. Like, for a stasis build, I think could be really good. But we'll have to wait and see. Bad Juju fixed an issue that was causing a weapon to recoil like an auto rifle, making it harder to control. That's good. Again, Bad Juju, I'll try that out for sure, especially in PvP. Fighting Lion, they fixed the issue that was causing the weapon to do more damage than intended to red bar combatants. Unfortunate, but knew that was coming. Same thing with Thunderlord, fixing the issue resulting in hits against the Divinity Bubble, counting as 2 crits. I knew that was going to change. I'm not surprised by that at all. And then Winterbite's initial version, including explodable damage bug, which is fixed here. The impact damage has been removed and redistributed to the detonation damage. The self-damage scaling has been tuned to account for the increased damage of the detonation. Good. I've blown myself up. I'm not gonna lie, with Winterbite in the past, but that's good. I think those are solid changes, and hopefully Winterbite is still viable going forward. Fragile Focus is fairly potent, but the bonus lasts until shield pop. Returns when shield regenerates to 100. Ooh, okay, nice. Thresh, Demolition, and Pugilist. And that grants increased energy to glade projectile kills. Reconstruction has been simplified on the hood, so I can place the perk on more weapons. A slight change in the timing of the perk, where the initial timer and the cooldown timer between the reloads has been unified. Base perk is 4 seconds, enhanced perk 3.5. Not bad. Shoot to loot is already situational useful. So they've updated to pick up orbs of power. Okay, that's kind of crazy. Currently, this only works on direct hits. The ability for the orbs to be picked up with weapon detonations will be added in a future patch. All good changes. I like all of that. That could be cool, and makes shoot the loop a lot more exciting as a perk. So they're adjusting some zoom value stats in the future. Big sword update coming. Another one. Pass on the base damage fall off ranges for several types of weapons. So a lot of changes are coming. In more distant future, we're working on updated spares that will allow players to use their favorites instead of always on time. That would be very, very nice. Anyway, my thoughts, good. All good changes. I know some people are going to be upset about their favorites maybe getting a nerf, but overall, I think we have a lot more viable options than we did before this, and I'm looking forward to next season and being able to use all these various weapons in all kinds of activities across the game. I can't wait. I think Season Deep is going to be really fresh. I know a lot of people who have been kind of down on the game a little bit in the last couple weeks, but this is a good time to jump back in because I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Anyway, my name is Jopa. I hope you enjoyed the video. Hit that like button if you did. Subscribe to the channel. Helps me out tremendously. Have a good one, and I'll catch you all later.